It absolutely was. So this was Katie Munnings, who was the first person to, well, this was the puncture on the rear right. Look at the sand it was flicking up. She came through the hairpin at the end of the course, and we were like, wow, that looks dusty. It's going to be hard to pass there. And then, Sam, we realised that she was carrying this rear right puncture, and it really was a brilliant job. We can't understate that, can we, for her to get the car back?
Well, what we didn't realise is that she was suffering this the whole lap. So absolute credit to her for giving it absolutely everything. You thought that she was nursing the car. No, she wasn't. She wasn't pushing.
There, was she?
She was pushing.
Yeah, great job. So Katie managed to get the car back, and at the time they were ever so disappointed, but in fact, because there were other incidents in the session, which I think we're probably about to see, you'll see that really a puncture was pretty low on the list of woes for the teams out in Saudi Arabia. That was a minor one. Now that they sat in P4, and P4 is where they've ended up. But as I said, tomorrow when they look at that Crazy Race lineup, I'm pretty certain they'll put Hansen in the car first of all. But he'll be going up against Bennett and I think Jenson Button, because those guys have all got experience, Jenny, of what you said, which is racing to the first corner.
Yeah, it'd be fascinating to see what they do pick and how they decide to do the tactics of this race. It's not just a simple, get in the car and drive. They've got to think about this, and they've got to think about their own individual situation. Now, this is the Veloce car. Stefan Sarazan, a great all-rounder, but you can see he comes down the big drop-off, goes okay at the moment, and then he gets to the road where the bumps are, and he just loses it, and you'll see what happens. But it's a mighty one, isn't it?
He's so unlucky because the car steps left, and if you look at when it lands, he nearly gets it right. And if we see the onboard, watch his hands position on the wheel, because even after, and we might see it in a minute, even after he's had the shunt, he's facing the wheels in the right direction because the trajectory of the car is good. So watch down here, he crosses the road, exactly what Jenny said, just loses the rear by half a foot. Going to be just below our vision here. Okay, so watch the onboard here. Sam, you might be able to talk us through as well in terms of the wheel. We might see the sideways one of it. And you see him pointing it as if I can save it, I can save it. And then, of course, he braces because he knows he can't.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of times with this Odyssey car, this Extreme E car, when the rear digs in, it then sends you the other way, and that sent him over a little bit. The rear of the car has a slightly stiffer suspension than the front, for obvious reasons, because of the battery. The steering hand, he's turning into the slide, and over he goes.
Yeah, you know what I mean about hitting that tuft on the right. He'd got the wheels then, this'll land, but when it landed, it dug in. When weight came back the other way, and it was a big one.
That's what I mean about the heavy rear end and the stiffer suspension, as we now see the other big crash of the day. This one really dug in.
Yeah, Claudia Hurtgen. Wow. I mean, wow.
It was just great to see her get out.
Yeah, it was.
It really
the
was.
team said, didn't they, best pictures of the day. There was a big relief because Claudia's radio wasn't working, and I think because of that, everyone was concerned as to whether she was okay. She was shaken, but she was perfectly okay. And that, as I say, that's a credit to Spark and the build of the cars.
And we said, didn't we, at the time, that it was such a small mistake that gave such a big punishment for At Cooper. So really unlucky for them, and unfortunately for them, ruled them out. But this is all about a bigger picture. It's about the environment.